Okay, I'm gonna start. And because I have close to my heart papers, I have to cut off my zip strips anyway. So I don't know what kind of papers you have. Maybe you have some that you have to trim. These are my instructions. So like I said, I'm going to post these when we're done so that in case you got lost anywhere along the way or whatever, that you can grab onto this. So what we're doing is we're taking 3 sheets of pattern paper. It's a bonus if they're double-sided. They don't have to be, but it is a bonus because that just gives you more options. So we're going to cut them. So I'm going to I'll go through and we'll cut them together. And then what you do is you have all these different options. So basically you put it together any way you want. I have a whole bunch of samples. So I'll post these as well. These just show you different options for laying out these papers. So these are all the same cuts. They're just put in a different pattern on your base sheets. And so I'm going to post those, but I also have completed ones. So I've done this 2 or 3 times. I have some that I actually have to finish now that I have the base pieces down, but I didn't have photos. So I have my photos now. So I'm going to work on those probably next week. But anyway, I just want to let you know. So I'm going to post all those. So I'm just going to set this over here out of my way for a minute. And then I have to decide. So what I've done, so these are our current mix-in papers. So they are double-sided. So this is from the new catalog. They just came out July 1st, and they're called the mix-in. So they coordinate with our paper packs. So there's 2 paper packs, well there's 3, but there's 2 main paper packs available in the new idea book. This is one of them. So this is called Timber. So I actually am going to use this for my base page. So it doesn't have to be plain cardstock, although usually that's what I do. But I'm going to do something a little bit different, and I'm going to try this just because my papers are very simple. So I don't think it's going to be too overwhelming to have a pattern underneath. So this is the one side, and then, ooh, look at that. That's the other side. But for this one, I'm probably going to use this. And then I also have just plain, it's not white. I always forget. I think it's called French Vanilla. It's a new one. It's just a tad off-white, which is really nice sometimes. Okay, so those are going to be my base pages. So what I'll do is I'll just start. I'm going to cut off my zip strips on this. So these are 12 by 12 pieces, and they come with a 1/2 inch zip strip. So this is something that we're also going to use on our paper, on our layouts, are the zip strips. So because mine are single pages, they don't match, so you would need to have more, or you can use trim. So I've done this a lot of times. I don't use the zip strips. I actually use ribbon or shimmer trim or just another piece of paper. I've done it with, you just cut a piece of cardstock at 1/2 inch. Okay, so I'm going to set those over there. And then these are my pattern ones. So like I said, mine are quite simple because I'm using the mix-ins. So the mix-ins are to coordinate with the other pattern papers. So typically the other pattern papers are a lot busier, whereas these are more simple patterns. Sorry, little awkward because my mount for my phone is kind of right here, so hopefully I'm not shaking it while I do this. So 2 of the pages we're going to cut identical, and 1 of the pages is going to be different. So for my cutting diagram, 1 piece we cut into 3-inch strips, and the other 2 pieces we cut into 4 and 2. So hopefully that's clear and you can see that. So sometimes there's a little bit of pre-planning with this. Other times it's just go with the flow. I also do not have directional paper. So if your pattern paper is directional, right? So this has to go up when I'm doing it. So I want to make sure that I kind of have an idea of what I'm doing here. With the layouts, they are different, right? So if you want to think a little bit ahead, if you have directional paper, which way you might want to put your paper. So for a fancy pattern that is directional, this layout is not going to work for this paper, but it works for any of the other ones, right? Hopefully you're following what I mean by that. And same with this. So lots of different options. You just have to decide, am I cutting my paper this way or am I cutting my paper this way in order to use it? So there's lots of options. So whichever way you cut it, you're going to be able to use it and work with it. But if you specifically wanted to use one of these patterns, then you want to plan ahead a little bit. So hopefully that makes sense. But like I said, my patterns are just unidirectional. They really don't matter. I mean, there is a direction there, but it doesn't matter. So what do I want to do? I think I will cut this one into my 3-inch strips. So if you can choose which one you want for your 3-inch strips, you can grab it and you can start to cut it. So is everybody okay? I'm not seeing any more comments there. Hopefully, Joanne, I did answer your question there as to what papers. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to cut this into 3-inch strips. So I put the end of my paper at 9. And then my 6-inch mark for my trimmer is like here. It's a little bit hard to line up. So what I actually do is I just go 3 on mine. Everybody always has that one spot, right, on their trimmer. It just depends what trimmer you have. And then I'm going to do 3 again. Okay, so that's okay, Susan. Okay, so there we go. And then I'm going to take this one, and I think I'm going to cut it this way too. So this one I cut into 2-inch, so 2 2-inch strips. So 1 at 10, 1 at 8, and then I have 8 left, and I'm going to cut that in half at 4. Okay, so now I have 2 4-inch and 2 2-inch here. Okay, I'll set those aside, and I'm going to do the same with this one. So this one, I think I'm going to turn this way, because why not? Really for mine, like I said, doesn't matter for mine. Okay, so again, I'm cutting at 10, 8, and then 4. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do, now that I've got that cut, I think I can do this over here. Trim out of the way now. Okay, so here's all my papers. And what I need to do is decide how I'm going to lay these out. And I haven't planned this ahead of time. I'm just going with the flow here. So I'm going to start with my patterned bases. Everything's difficult to pick up today. Okay, so there's my 2 bases, and then I want to decide. So what I need is you can actually split these in 2. Okay. So here, I have 4 3-inch. So 2 3-inch there, 2 3-inch for my other one. Then I have 4 2-inch, but they're different patterns. So it doesn't really matter. I just got to decide which one I want where. So we'll go this way. And then same thing with the 4-inch. So obviously I want the opposite. Or I could potentially use the same. So again, depending on your papers, I could use this, right? And then, but that would give me this over here. But then I can flip those over. Nope, that's the same. So I'm gonna go like this. So that's what I'm gonna do. Now I figure out how to do it. So 2 4-inch, 2 3-inch, 2 2-inch. Okay, makes sense? Okay, so let's see. How do I want to do this? You know what? I think I'm going to switch that. This is the good thing about this. And the more pattern papers and layouts you decide to use, the more options you will have. So make sense? So if I cut 6 different pieces of paper, I would be creating 4 double page layouts, but I would have more papers to choose from. And so I had done a workshop with this with the club ladies a while back, and that's what we did. We actually used almost a whole paper pack. Maybe we did, but we cut, I think we created 4 double page layouts on that one. My iPad keeps turning off, so I can't see my patterns. So I don't need to necessarily follow the patterns, but they're just helpful. Maybe I'll do this one. This is kind of nice. Oh, being very difficult. I don't know. I think I might just stick with that red. That's kind of neat. I've been adding more shimmer trim lately. Close to my heart's been doing some layouts with shimmer trim, just like the gold or the silver, and it's just really kind of oh, I like that. What do you think about that? Okay, can we have a vote? Yes, Joanne likes the red better. Anybody else? What do you think? Red or this shimmer trim? I can't decide. While I'm waiting, I'm going to start to glue this down. Yeah, red. Oh boy, sorry. Red does give it a nice pop. Oh, Christine says red. Yeah, okay. We're going to stick with the red. Okay. There. Because then I can maybe do, maybe I'll actually do some red mats for my photos. So if you're working along with me on this, just know that you're ahead of the game for your challenge, because this next challenge is to actually complete these layouts. So I don't know, I did post that there, but you might not have seen it because maybe you're watching me, but the next challenge is for you to actually complete these layouts. So title photo mats are fine. You don't have to put actual photos on them yet. And embellishments. Okay, now, I don't know if you have this problem, but I always do. My little zip strip there shows a little bit of the paper, so I just gotta overlay that a tiny bit so that it covers it up. Make sure I get that nice and straight. There, looking good. Oh, Susan likes shimmer trim now too. Oh well, I've stuck it down now, Susan. I'm gonna stick with it on this one. Maybe I'll use it on the next one though, because it's a little bit different. Okay. And this paper. Now, I don't know about you ladies, but when I am sticking down my papers, because these are going directly into page protectors, I don't worry too much about how much adhesive I'm putting on. As long as you got your corners tacked down and your adhesive is good and firmly on, I think a lot of people might use more than they need, and that's okay. But I don't think you need a ton. Okay, so for this one, where do I want to put this? One of the things I didn't really do is show dimensions on this, because it's really, you know, open. Like I said, I mean, I could put this anywhere I want. I think what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to put it at the 2-inch mark. I think I'll go with 2, like that. I have to trim that after. That's okay. There. Okay, and now I can do this side. So Jessica, if you came in late, if you remember how we did this, but I have also posted the instructions there if you want to flip over and then you can catch up a bit. So we do a lot of camping. So that's why I like this paper, because I always have camping photos. Okay, so same issue, not as much paper overlap this time. A little bit. Okay. Oh, can you see it all the way over here? Yes. Sometimes my camera mount doesn't really go up high enough to show enough of the desk, so I have to remember and check. Yes, I did. You should see all the layouts I have, Joanne, with the Aurora. A lot. I actually, so as a consultant, we can purchase what we call a bulk paper pack. So this paper here, I can purchase 12 sheets of this. So as you notice, if you look at the regular scrapbooking kit, the back of that is different. This is the paper that they use in the card making kit. So I can purchase the paper from the card making kit in bulk. So same price, it's not a discount or anything. It just allows me to create workshops and stuff with people if I wanted to, right? It just makes it a little bit easier, because if you buy like one paper pack, then you only get 2 sheets of each paper. So this way I could create a bunch of layouts with this one paper for multiple people. Make sense? But anyway, with the Aurora, I did the same thing, and I bought the bulk paper because it was really nice. It was the stars, like the constellations on one side, and I think it was the arrows on the other side. So I really liked it. Okay, so my first layout, my base of my layout is done. So I have a photo layout for this shown. So 2 4x6. So here, I'll just show you this way. And I can change this up. You don't have to stick with that. I mean, the base is there to do with whatever we want. So these are really great, especially for planning. So my layout shows doing this. And you will see a completed version of this as well, with embellishments and title and everything in my samples. And so then, like I have shown on my pattern, you could put some sort of embellishment there. One of these could be a journaling spot, but I could change this up. Like if I have more pictures or whatever, I could do all kinds of different things with this. So these are great to play around with. These come in the workshop kits, and I do use them, but not all the time. So if I have, see, I don't like that though. I like this. If I have my pictures ready, then I don't use them, and I have quite a stack of them now. See, you could do something like this. You do something like that. You could put it up more. I can mat them. If I mat them, they'll pop a little bit more. Just depends if you have cardstock that matches and you want to use cardstock. One way to get the most out of your cardstock, because of course a 4x6 photo, to mat it, you need it bigger than 4x6, but a 12x12 paper cuts lovely into 4x6 size. So what you can do is you can just take your photo when you get it and cut a tiny bit off of the edge, and then you can still mat it without wasting a ton of paper on photo mats. So I've done that before too. So hopefully that kind of helps you get an idea there. Like I said, the patterns are there. You can copy them exactly, or you can change them up. Okay, get these out of the way, and I'm gonna work on this other one. Okay, so that's number 1. And then here we go. Let's see what we're gonna do here. Come on. Okay, so now might flip this over. I'm not a big pink person. I have 2 boys in the house. And although I do have a granddaughter, I don't have a ton of pictures of her. So, actually it's a paid program. But I use it I don't print a picture unless I've edited it in Photoshop. So that I'm just kind of like that. Okay, so now I just want to play around with this. Okay, figure out what I want to do here. Like I said, I don't know. This might not look nice now though, this color. I don't know. It still kind of looks nice. What other color could I use? Oh yes, Liz, actually I was thinking I need to do an online. I'm going to set up an online for Photoshop about this, but I would have to do it and record it, I think, so that then I can show you what I'm doing on my screen. So I can't do that on Facebook. I would have to do it in a different program. But I want to do that. So I will just have to find the time and I will post it. And then, like I said, then you guys can watch it after. Okay, I think what I'm going to do with this one, I really like this other layout. So, okay, I think I'm going to do that. This is a fun one. Okay, so I'm going to do this one here, right? I like this one. I like the fact that it just looks so different because you're trimming off the ends. So it's kind of fun that way. So I'm going to touch these. So one of the reasons that I use Photoshop, when I was home on maternity leave with my not my first son, but my first little son. Sorry, I have 2 older kids and 2 younger kids. Anyway, I work at Georgian College, so I have a little bit of an advantage there, and I get a bit of a discount on courses. So I took a part-time Photoshop class because I've always been, you know, into photography, and with the scrapbooking, I just really wanted to learn more. So that really helped me, and then it was great. So I took a second one, and I can't remember if I actually took a third, but I learned some really good basics in Photoshop, and I don't use a lot of them because, you know, it's one of those things, if you don't use it, you lose it kind of thing. So what I do is formatting my pictures, and I do that, like I said, for every single picture, and so I'm really good at that. So I would love to do a demo and show everybody. So for this layout, like I said, I don't have dimensions on there. I'm going to start with this one. So I'm going to cut half an inch, I think, only off of this one. Oh, and you can do it this way. I'll show you a little trick. Sorry, I need my scissors. Okay, so if I haven't shown you this before, I know I've shown some of the ladies. So I want to cut a dovetail in here. And to get it as straight as possible, this is what I'm going to do. So this is a 2-inch strip. So at 1 inch, I want to cut up. So I get right in the middle there, and I want to cut up. And so my dovetails I like to keep quite shallow. So I'm going to cut a little piece there. Sometimes it's hard to see, and you probably can't see it through the camera, but I can see it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for my corner, and I'm aiming to that point right there. See? And then I'm going to do this side. This is a great trick that I learned from Close to My Heart. And it gives you a really nice dovetail, like every time. It's really handy. Okay, so that's that one. And then I'm going to do the other side. So same thing, like that. Sometimes I measure to make sure I'm equal. See, I'm on screen there. Okay, and then I'm going to cut up here. Sometimes I have to fudge it because when they're big like this, it's harder to get your angle right. So sometimes the side is a little wonky, but it's not really noticeable. There we go. Okay. So rather than cut this, I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. Which side I'll do on this side because I think you can see this side better. Okay. I'm going to line that up kind of where I want it. Put my adhesive down on the end. Whoops. Okay. And I want that, I think, fairly close to the bottom of my page. Whoops, I lost it. So I think I want to go an inch up. So I'm just going to keep it over the edge. Now, I think I might use my ruler on this one because I'm not going edge to edge. So this just helps me stay straighter. There we go. So I'm going to put this at about 1/2 inch there. That gets it nice and straight. There we go. And then I'm just going to trim this edge off. So I used to see people doing stuff like this, and I'm like, how can you cut the paper with scissors? It'll never be straight. But when I'm doing it like this, it actually usually works out okay. Okay. I'll do this side. Gunk on there. Oops. Okay, line this up again. So I get my head in there so I can see this. Where's my tape? There it is. Okay, that at 1/2 inch. I love this ruler. It's too bad they discontinued it, but the lines are actually wearing off, so I'm thinking that's probably why they discontinued it. Okay. Quickly looking at the comments there. Yeah, so yes, we're definitely going to do that. And Liz says, yeah, Zoom. I'll probably do the Google thing again, Liz. I don't know. I haven't done the Zoom. Because when I looked at it, like I couldn't have enough people or something, or the time, or there was something about it. Okay, a little bit wonky there. That's okay. So now I got to put some shimmer trim on here. What do you think? What do you think about that color? Do you think that looks good? I don't know. See, I don't have photos, so I don't know. So I just need to make a commitment and decide. What do you ladies think? Do you think the green or the bronzy brown is better? So then it's going to have this up against it. I don't see any comments, ladies. I need some help here. Oh, it's gold. It's too late. Okay, well, Christine's telling me brown, so I'm happy to go with that. So I can't remember if I actually, yeah, I went straight across with that. So, look at that. This must be a new roll. Oh, that was actually super easy to start. It's usually really hard to get these started. But I'll show you my trick for that. I know I showed it last time. So like I said, you could use ribbon, you can use cardstock, you can use whatever you want for this part. So I am not cutting off my little end there. Instead, I'm going to flip over my page and I'm going to cut off that. Now, when I go to start it again, I have that little piece left over. So I won't have to fight to find the end. Although, like I said, it was super easy to come off of there. I don't know why. Usually it's quite hard. Okay, everybody agrees too. Brown. That's good. I think that's the right choice too. Okay. That one there, I might have to trim that a bit. messy there. Not. We'll have a photo over that. It'll be okay. Okay, this one's really sticky. I think they kind of changed how they make this shimmer trim a little bit. Okay, put that off. Okay, so now I have to do a dovetail on this bigger piece. So same thing I'm going to do, but it's a little bit harder because it's bigger. So it's 3 inches, so I'm going at 1.5. Go up a little bit more than I did on the smaller piece because it's bigger. And then on my corner there. Oh, it worked. I don't even know if I did that on screen. Sorry. So this is where I said, like, sometimes I get a little bit wonky there, trying to get that lined up. But that turned out okay. Okay, we'll do this one. So I might measure this just to see if I get, yeah, I think I'm pretty cool. See, yeah, it was a little bit of a curve there, but that's okay. I don't stress these little things. Okay, glue this down and then I will be done my bases. Oh, hang on, I forgot. I didn't trim it. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, we want to go shorter than this one. I don't know if you can see all the way over there. Sorry. So I'm going to come back, and I'm just going to eyeball that. I probably have to put some more glue down. Maybe not. So same thing, I'm just going to cut this off. I went and put my adhesive down, but I think I'm okay. So what was that? I went like 1 inch and just a little bit more than 1.25 inches. Okay, so this time, oh no, not now. I guess I should have checked that before we started, but that's okay. I have a backup. I'll just use this quickly since we're almost done. Okay, so just to make sure that I'm even, I'm gonna go like that. Close enough. There we go. Now, like I said, you can go ahead and cut your 1.25 inches off of that paper ahead of time if it's easier. Okay. So there it is. So there's my second one done. So for this one, I had photos like this. Like that. So I'm not 100% sure, but this is a layout I've completed before, so you may be able to see that in my samples. And I don't know if I would mat these ones. I probably wouldn't. But you could do this. Or you could do something like this. So you could do all kinds of different things. You could put your photos down lower. And then what I had with this one originally was I had the title over here. Okay, so I'm going to sign off for now.